Hello and welcome, dear fountain pen, ink, and paper lovers out there. Doug here from Albuquerque in New Mexico, also known as PAPERDAG. I wanted to share today all the pens that I have currently inked, and I have a lot of pens inked right now. Reason being that I just got back from 4 weeks in Germany. I did bring a lot of pens because I thought I was going to write a lot. I thought I was going to have a lot of downtime. I thought I wanted to share some pens with some pen pals that I had planned to meet, but yes, which I actually ended up doing, but I did not write a lot as I had intended. In fact, I brought all of them back and I had to re-ink, I think, just one of them just this morning, because that's my only one of my few fine writers right now. Please also be on the lookout the next days. I would also like to come back with more fountain pen related content because, as always, I went to my favorite antique market in Germany close to Wetzlar, and that is in Finsterloh, where I'm kind of always like super excited that there's always people that have fountain pens, and or at least I was hoping there would again be vendors with fountain pens, and I did get lucky, but I wanted to split that up into a separate episode, as well as some new ink samples that got to me from a pen pal. So those in another episode, so it won't get too crazy long today. But in the meantime, here's the pens. I think I have 23 pens inked up right now. We're going to take a look at the desk in a moment, and as usual, I am doing my ink swatching, my fountain pen scribbles in my Old Tomoe River notebook with graph paper, the way I've been doing it for many years. I am very random, by the way, in case you wonder, with the time that I pick for my ink samples and for the re-inking of pens. In this case, like I said, I inked more pens than usual because I wanted to have some friends take a look. But this book, I've had a similar book like this for the currently inked notes for a long time, and I do not always take note at the beginning of the month, but whenever I have new pens inked, and whenever I feel like there's a need to, I want to say, sometimes also ground myself, reconnect myself with my fountain pens, which I think is really a fun thing to do, at least for myself. Okay, I'll see you over at the desk. And we are good because I can still fit all of these pens into the shot the way I usually have my camera set up. Let's take a look. And here is the Opus 88 Jazz Orange, which I got at Drumgools in Houston. Used, but they had, because I wanted a broad nib, they put on an Esterbrook nib for me, which I really love. You gotta open them to get ink flow in the back, and this, sometimes I had it closed, so I hope it writes now. Okay, today is May 12th. Is it 12? Or is it 11? 12, I think. Seriously, what jet lag does to your brain, it gets worse for me every year. So this ink is Fountain Feder Octopus Ostsee from my pen pal, Kirsten. And she has an amazing, if you're into fountain pens and you're on Instagram, you should check out her feed because it's really so inspiring, always with beautiful fountain pens that she puts out very nicely curated photos. I thought there was a fuzz. Maybe there is, and I can't get it. Whatever. Kirsten. Great writer. Esterbrook SD, King of the Night. Dang, I love this so much. I'm not even a red person, but I fell so hard for this pen as soon as I saw it. And no regrets ever. And the broad nib was definitely a good decision for me because, well, I love me my broad, fat writing gusher pens. Just gonna write SD, King of the Night. And this ink is Sailor Virginia. If you've been here before, you've seen this. It's always inked, and it has this slightly, well, I'm not going to say it. It's just an awesome nib for me. OBB. Lamy 2000. And we have Ferris Wheel Press Blushing Mushrooms. This is my forever love pen. Delta Duna Horizon. Almost empty. And this is, let me confirm, yes, I found some vintage square base shaped Birmingham Pen Company inks on eBay. And and had to get 2 of them. And this, of course, was one, obviously. Great color for this pen. Almost empty. Glassmith. I'm such a sucker for these old Birmingham Pen Company bottles. I don't like the round ones so much, I must say. The newer ones that they use, I even contacted them and they said the old ones are not coming back. And here we have a Leonardo Momento Zero angel skin with a broad nib, steel nib, and it is inked with an ink that I've fallen in love with ever since I had a sample from Pen Pal Peter. Back in the day when Simona did an ink sample swap. She organized that. That was awesome. So, Leonardo Momento Zero angel skin. And this fantastic ink is Robert Oster. It's a shimmer ink. I don't know if that's visible for you. It's Robert Oster Rose Gilt Tinta, which I had to get a bottle of this because I love the sample so much. One of those inks that I own that go very well with this pen, I find. I just love, for this one, I love it matchy-matchy. Not always do I need matchy-matchy, but in this case, it's fun. Here is the Platinum 3776 Chartres blue with the music nib. Another favorite for sure, because the nib is just fantastic. And I forgot what the ink is. Oh, this is Diamond Celadon Cat. How could I forget? I apologize to you, dear Celadon Cat, because I love you. Showed you this one already, so okay. And here comes the maquille with the fan and the maple leaves, I assume. Broad nib. And this is the time of the year where I ink up a pen with Cherry Blossom, Robert Oster, a sample from Desiree. I don't know if this has a special name. Just made that up, the maple leaf. Robert Oster. Cherry Blossom. Of course, it does not. This is kind of like a fall theme, even though these may be symbolizing cherry blossoms. But it's not really matchy-matchy, but whatever. Well, it's kind of matchy-matchy with the color of the fan if you want to know, whatever. But I went with the Japanese theme. Let's just put it that way. Cherry Blossom. Awesome. Desiree. Pretty. Aurora 88. I have gotten this one for many years. I hope you can read this. Yep. I should scold my husband for never giving me one for our daughter's birth. Come on, what's going on here? But you can see that I've had this pen for 27 years because tomorrow is my baby's birthday, my big boy. This is such a good writer. It is a, let me make sure, yes, it's a piston filler. Squirts ink all over the page. I think this is a Pilot Iroshizuku ink. Pilot, don't talk. Don't try to talk, Doug, while you write a complicated word. Iroshizuku. And this is Fuyugaki. I think I got this ink in Paris. Okay. Oh, this is a beauty, this nib, isn't it? Love it. Yeah. And here it comes. The most wonderful, glorious Pilot Namiki, sterling silver. I call it my dragon lady. This is, I've been in love with this pen since I saw it and wrote with it about a year ago. And I just didn't want to dish out the box. But a few weeks ago, it just had to happen, and no regrets ever. This is the most expensive pen that I have ever purchased for myself, and I have not regretted it. Broad nib. Puts down a lot of ink. Really, really just the way I love it. Pilot Namiki. Dragon Lady. My name, like I said, I dubbed it my Dragon Lady. Broad, and this ink is the other one of my new inks that I had scored on eBay. It's Birmingham Pen Company Plowman's Pebble. You hear that in the background? That's my husband making a latte, steam foaming his milk. Gosh, I love this so much. And here's another one that I love, the Sailor Pearl Mint that my daughter got in Japan for me pretty much a year ago. She bought it, and this is a zoom nib, my first and only zoom nib. And this pen also puts down a lot of ink, so it really works very well for those very, very light inks. Sailor Pro Gear. Pearl Mint. zoom. And this ink is it is the famous ink, which is also called, I don't remember, Colorverse Cat's Eye Nebula. Darn it. No other pen can handle this ink. I have a bucket of this. And I love it. No regrets. Oh, such a pretty pen. And now comes the Sailor Pro Gear. And a Sailor, my only Sailor Pro Gear, and it has a medium, fine medium nib. And the ink is Diamine Blizzard, I think. Pen is called Grateful Crane. Great writer, Faber-Castell Ondoro. Love this pen. Broad nib. And this is Pilot Iroshizuku. I think it's Yuyake. And I've had this ink for a very long time, and it's always been out in, I shouldn't say in the sunshine, but just out on a shelf. So I feel like, or Ramona, hi, she once told me that the ink looks a little bit different, which would not surprise me. I mean, if you bought it today, it would look different, but that's okay. I don't care. I mean, it's still an amazing orange, don't you think? Steel nib. And here comes one of my favorite vintage pens, the Castell 10 by Faber-Castell. Oops, a bit of a leak. It was one of the pens that traveled to Germany with me. This has a broad oblique nib. And the ink is Arbor Vert Olive. haven't used this ink in a very long time, and I was really, just really love it. Pretty. This has a cartridge converter that is made to fit this pen, and it's funny because I have another one of these, and the other one is kind of the body is burgundy shaped, and everything looks the same. However, I once, for some reason, switched the cartridge converters, and then the other pen leaked. Then that pen leaked where I put it in, which is kind of weird and interesting. Yeah, I've had this for a very long time. Can you tell? I used to not be careful with my pens. I got a little better now over the years as we get older and smarter. This baby I have purchased in Paris 2 years ago. It's a Pelikan 400 NN tortoise brown with a double broad oblique nib that I absolutely adore. And we have I believe that this is Colorverse Walk the Dog, and it is. I love my Pelikan Silvexa pens. I have a bunch of these. This one is a 20, Pelikan 20 Silvexa. And I assume it's a gold nib, but it is not. There's no visible marking, and I've never taken this pen apart. Could also be a double broad, who knows? And the ink is Dominant Industry. Evening. This was one of the few pens when I got it out of the after the flight, and when I opened it to write, it was dripping ink. None of the others did that. New to me, Pelikan 15 with a semi-hooded nib. Pretty, I don't know, do you call this semi-hooded or hooded? Not sure, but whatever you want to call it, it's an amazing writer. And hold on a second, got it right first. Pelikan 15. Not sure if it's probably a BB nib, and it's a cartridge ink Pelikan. turquoise. Unfortunately, I could not fit a converter into this. It opens back here. Yeah. Of course, I will check this out. What does it say here? R. Hold on a second. I got my loop to take a look at this but it looks like it's hand scratched. You most certainly cannot see it. If I can barely see it, oh, it's definitely an R. Huh. Weird. And the nib is actually slightly oblique, which could be also from writing because the pen is older. Nah, not so much. Whatever. Don't listen to my ramblings. If you wonder where I got this, I bought it on eBay Kleinanzeigen in Germany a good while ago. Probably, I want to say for about 50, 60 euros. No regrets. And here we have a truly hooded nib in a Parker 51. Vintage. In case you did not know, I love vintage pens. And the ink is, oh yeah, Vinta Sirena. That is what I put in. But to be honest, this looks quite contaminated. I'm really not sure that Vinta Sirena, I think, is lighter. I believe, as far as I remember, I got this for a very reasonable price at a flea market in Paris. And here we have a Mont Blanc Meisterstück 12. It gives you the number at this at the end of the cap. And this is also a double broad oblique nib. And this one is empty. This had another fountain feather octopus ink in it, and that was Grünkohl. I love this green, such a good one. This is it. This is it. Okay. I'm not sure if I still have some or if I've used up the sample. Okay, now we have 4 more pens. Let's start a new page. Kaweco Brass Sports. Gift from a sweet and very kind and thoughtful friend. You know who you are. Thank you again. Can't say it enough. I brought this on my trip, and as you can imagine, but I also brought the Kaweco Supra brass on the trip. It always travels with me because it's so rugged. I kind of like that. Gives me the sense of nothing can go wrong with this pen. It can't break even if I step on it or I drop it. Same with this one. But the Supra is, I already wrote dry. Kaweco Brass Sports. And I have one of these finicky converters in here. This is Pilot Iroshizuku Inaho. And this is the Kaweco AL Sports Stonewashed Blue BB ink. And I have to say, so I am a firm believer in good customer service, and Kaweco came through. I had purchased this pen in, oh, that's more of the green cool. Look at that. I had purchased the pen in New York City at Yoseka Stationery. And I had wanted this one for a long time. I just love the design. Stonewashed Blue, hello, yes. Give it to me. And I got the pen. Of course, I didn't even try it. Come on, it's a Kaweco pen. I love these guys. And it turned out that the nib was scratchy. I contacted Kaweco and in Nuremberg in Germany, and they said, hey, no, sorry, you got to contact the store. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I didn't say that's ridiculous. I said, come on, give me a break. You made the pen. Why can't you fix the problem that incurred? And they did not. It was not a demonstrator pen in the front of the store. They had gotten it from the back for me with the nib that I wanted. And so after I talked to Kaweco, they indeed sent me a new nib to Germany. They would not have sent the replacement nib to America, but they sent it to Germany, to my address there, which thank you. I have a lot of Kaweco pens, and I appreciate you honoring me being an amazing customer over the years. Kaweco Sport. So thank you to Kaweco. Stonewashed Blue, and now I am drawing a total blank. I feel like it's an Herba ink. Is it? Hold on. Lit de thé. Okay. Wasn't completely wrong. Lit de thé. Okay. Yeah. I love the combination of brown and blue. And here comes another new one. It's a Kaweco Collection AL pen. That was another gift from my brother. BB nib. And the ink is a Kaweco cartridge, which they kindly had sent to me with that replacement nib pack of palm green. This is called the Olivine double broad nib, and it is a Kaweco cartridge. Love this guy. That was a sweet gift from a friend for my birthday last year. And I eked this up with my all-time favorite pink. I'm not buying the plastic Kaweco Sports anymore. I love the heavier body. Kaweco. Collection AL Ruby. And if you wonder what my favorite pink is, it's Arbor Rose Tendresse. Yeah, same nib. Love it. I got this one used from a Kirk of Pen Realm. And here we are. We'll take a quick look again, a little bit closer. That's it. Thanks for coming along. Bye.